Hello and welcome to another episode. Uh, now that we're done with the alphabet, we are going to learn some complicated concepts like this one here, Batchim. I hope you can read it, Batchim, Batchim. But what is a Batchim? Batchim is the consonant that comes at the very end of a syllable. So it's a consonant. It's a consonant. It comes at the end of a block or a syllable. So, if that's the case, if it's a consonant that comes at the end of a block, can you find batchims in this word? First of all, let's go through the blocks. So this is a, can you guess? Good job. This is a CVC block. So, we are going to find the consonant at the end of the block. Here it is. So, ticket here is the batchim. And this one, our second block, is also a CVC block. So batchim is a consonant that comes at the end of a block. The consonant at the end of a block. So meme here is the batchim. Batchim. Let me show you different types of batchims. So, just to repeat it because it is important. The consonant at the end of a block is a batchim. It's a batchim. So, we had different types of blocks. First is a simple one. C, B, C. Han. Ni in here is the batchim. Next is a CVC, but with a compound vowel, like guan. C, V, C. Again, ni in here is the batchim. Or a CVCC block, like tak. These two here are our batchims. So we have different forms of batchims, but what they have in common is that they are all consonant and then they come at the end of a block. So they are a batchim. They can be one single letter or two letters. It doesn't really matter as long as they are a consonant at the end of a block. So this brings us to the first rule of batchims. It is that some consonants at the batchim position, they change their sound, like their sound changes. For example, a very common one, do you remember ticket?
I'm very sorry, I keep saying ticket. I meant ticket.
Ticket sounds like a t, right? Like tan, tim, like this. So it sounds like a t or mi. It always sounds like a t. But there are other consonants which sound like a t at the end of a block. What are they? I will write them all here so you can take a note. First is dik. Do you remember its original sound? It's a d sound. But I told you before that it has a very special t sound, and it's when it comes at the position of a batchim. So, for example, the word at, it's not ad, it's at. one thing that you should remember about Batchims is that Batchims, when pronouncing Batchims, you don't fully pronounce the sound. For example, you don't say at, you say at. You can't see it right now, but I'm biting my tongue when saying at. If this is my tongue, I'm biting it. At, like that. Ticket is our first special letter that when it comes at the Batchim part, its sound changes. I will write it here. First is ticket. Next is jiet. Do you remember its original sound? It sounds like a j or a ch sometimes, but its special sound is t. When in the position of a Batchim, its sound changes into a t sound. For example, it. It's not ich, it's not ich, it's it. So this was our second consonant. The same rule applies to sangjit. Sangjit also at the Batchim part sounds like a t. Next is shiot. Do you remember its sound? It sounds like a shiot sounds like a s and sometimes like a sh. I'll tell you when. I was supposed to tell you earlier, but I forgot. But I'm going to make a short about this one and upload it on my YouTube channel. And its special sound is t when it's in the Batchim part. For example, it. Oh, sorry. It. The same rule applies to sangjit as well. Sangjit also at the Batchim part sounds like a t, it, like itta, to exist. It. Next is chiet. Chiet sounds like a ch, but its special sound is t at the Batchim part. Like, again, I'm using the same formation just because it makes it easier to remember them. It. It's not ich, it's it. So chiet at the end of a syllable or a block sounds like a ch as well. It sounds like a t as well. And then comes the very surprising part. Do you remember the hiet? It sounds like a h, right? But its special sound is t. At the end of a syllable, hiet sounds like a t. It. It's not I, it's it. I'm again biting my tongue. So this was our t series, and this brings us to the end of this video, this episode. Next episode will be about other sounds at the end of a syllable or in the Batchim position. So don't forget to tune in, and we will slowly and gradually learn how to read complicated words and apply complicated rules that Hangul has. But don't forget that it shouldn't intimidate you. It's very good. It's going to be very easy. We'll walk through this together, and yeah, we're going to have fun. Thank you for joining me today, and have a nice day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.